Hello, welcome to our class this week. And I'm glad to be back again with you guys. Hopefully by now you've been able to see the class from last week. Bienvenidos de nuevo a la clase de esta semana. Espero que ya hayan podido ver la clase de la semana pasada. Como se dan cuenta, estamos comenzando de nuevo la serie de 10 semanas. As you guys have by now been informed, we're starting again our 10-week class. We had done some classes, as I mentioned before, but we're starting now from here. So ya habíamos hecho unas clases ahí en el salón, pero ya estamos comenzando desde aquí. Just a quick reminder, make sure you have your notebook so that you're able to take some notes of what is of interest to you and what you're learning in this class, because you will be required to weekly write something down on a page paper. You can get more instructions from the staff, and you will be required to turn that in. So, un recordatorio que no se les olviden tener su cuaderno para cada clase y que van a estar tomando notas de lo que están aprendiendo, porque se les va a requerir que entreguen una hoja escrita de qué van aprendiendo cada semana en la clase. Nomás va a ser una hoja breve, no de preguntas de parte de nosotros, simplemente usted en sus propias palabras va a escribir algo tocante la clase de cada semana. So we're on week 2, estamos en la semana número 2 de las clases, and I'm going to also let you know once again, my name is Naomi Chavez. También les voy a decir una vez más, mi nombre es Noemi Chavez, and some of you know me already because we were in the classroom together. Unos de ustedes ya me conocen porque estábamos en la clase juntos, and yo soy Noemi Chavez, la facilitadora dando esta clase. This is the Strengthening Families for a Better Future classes. Estas son las clases de Fortaleciendo las Familias para un Mejor Futuro. These classes are intended to bring awareness to you in education so that you can learn new skills and be able to use, what you are learning to strengthen your families. Esta clase viene a ustedes para que ustedes puedan aprender y tener más conocimiento de diferentes clases de temas de educación para que usted pueda fortalecer su familia para un mejor futuro. So we are right now in this 10 weeks, en estas 10 semanas, estamos hablando sobre los temas de los ACEs. So we're talking over the themes of the ACEs. In the first class, you're able to go back if you haven't seen it yet, and I give an orientation over what the class consists of. En la primera semana, puede tomar de nuevo esa clase, ir para atrás y mirar si necesita ver. Allí le doy una lista de los temas que se van a cubrir. So if you look back if you remember from last week, I did mention that we were going to be talking about physical and emotional abuse this week. Mencioné que íbamos a estar hablando sobre el tema de abuso emocional y físico. But we also have talked about on the orientation in person, pero también en persona hablamos en la orientación, the possibility of changing up the order of the classes as needed or as we saw fit, depending on the circumstance. Little did I know that things were going to change so suddenly and abruptly. No sabíamos que de repente todo iba a cambiar. So maybe that was a good thing. Tal vez eso fue bueno, that we set down that understanding between you that were attending the class and me, myself, the teacher. So estuvo bien que estuvimos en ese acuerdo, porque esta es una de esas veces, because this is going to be one of those times where we're going to change it a little bit. So you all know that we're facing right now the pandemic of the COVID-19, the coronavirus, that is affecting lives all over the world. Ustedes saben que estamos enfrentando ahorita este problema con el virus corona que le llaman COVID-19, que está afectando por todo el mundo. This is not going to be a class on educating you on the virus or any of that. Esto no va a ser una clase de educación sobre el virus. It's going to be more of a class on stress management. Va a ser una clase en el manejo del estrés. And it's going to be more of an awareness class. Va a ser más una clase de conocimiento de cómo puede el estrés afectarnos durante estos tiempos difíciles, and how the stress can affect us during these times, y qué se puede hacer para afrontar ese tipo de estrés, and what we can do to confront that type of stress. Now, the theme throughout these 10 weeks is to look at our childhood patterns, behaviors, or experiences and learn from them and how they impact us as adults and how we can break the cycle of continuing to repeat those same uh, cycles with our own children. And because that goes back to the theme of making sure that we are strengthening our families for a better future. So, en estos temas estamos cubriendo la educación sobre experiencias de traumáticos de nuestra niñez, de experiencias que hemos vivido y cómo esas experiencias nos han afectado como adultos en nuestras conductas y también hasta hemos sabido en los estudios que aún hasta en lo físico afecta lo social, lo físico, lo emocional y económico. So we know that those childhood experiences can affect us in our economy as a individual, our financial situation. It could affect us socially, it could affect us emotionally, and it could affect us even mentally and physically. So we will continue to be learning those things. We vamos a continuar a aprender esas cosas. But one of the things right now that I feel is urgent and important, una de las cosas que siento urgente y importante en estos momentos is that we give a class right now in the midst of what we're going through, que demos una clase ahorita en medio de lo que estamos pasando, because it does connect, porque sí conecta. I think that those of you that might have experienced childhood trauma, los que han experimentado trauma de niños, those of you that, that might still be affecting you today, eso que todavía están afectando hoy, maybe having more difficulty in these times. A lo mejor están teniendo más dificultades en este tiempo. And I want to offer to you just some relevant help for the times in the moment. Quiero darles una clase de ayuda para el momento, for this moment, for what's going on now. And then we will continue. I just don't feel that, it would be beneficial for us to not have this class today first. Siento que esta clase es importante. So we are going to continue, and why? Because as I mentioned, going through a very stressful time can actually increase the issues that are already existing and ir por un tiempo muy estresante de la magnitud de lo que estamos enfrentando puede también afectar aún más a las personas que ya están lidiando con problemas. Vamos a estar hablando de ansiedad, depresión, estrés, frustración, del temor. We're going to be talking about anxiety and stress and depression and sadness and frustration and how we can deal with all of those things. Many people are right now having to be sheltered in, even those of you that are there in the program. There is an ordinance of everybody to be sheltered in. Hay una ordenancia ahorita de todos estar en casa, ¿verdad? Estar en casa. And it's been going on for weeks. Está pasando por semanas. And as of today, they still have not come with a vaccine or a treatment. They're working on it. We have faith and believe that it's coming, at some time. Creemos en fe que va a venir vacuna, va a venir tratamiento, pero sabemos que desde hoy, ahorita, todavía no está. So las precauciones son de suma importancia. The precautions are very important. So that can be very stressful. Y eso puede ser estresante, todo lo que se está pidiendo. But I just want you to keep in mind, pero quiero que tomen en mente that it is for the best and that the more we follow the ordinance, entre más seguimos, que vamos a ver más pronto resultado. We'll be able to see sooner, that this will start to settle down at some point. So that is why we need to do these classes this way for now. And I really am hopeful that we will be able to be back in the classroom at some point in the future soon. Y espero que podamos estar otra vez en el salón a algún punto en el futuro. So meanwhile, we're going to continue to do the classes this way. Again, this is Strengthening Families for a Better Future. And I am Naomi Chavez here to give the class for you. De nuevo, esta es la clase Fortaleciendo Familias para un Mejor Futuro. Yo soy Naomi Chávez aquí para darles la clase. Estoy cambiando un poco el tema para ayudarles I'm changing up a bit the teaching here so that I can give you some very important tips on how to manage stress. Managing stress is one of the classes we're going to be working on, what it is and getting into detail. Manejando el estrés, qué es, how it affects your mind, how it affects your body, cómo afecta la mente, cómo afecta el cuerpo. Sí vamos a estar aprendiendo en detalle de eso, but I just really want to, like I said, do a relevant class for the times right now as we're facing COVID-19, the coronavirus. Eso quiero hacer una clase ahorita y en relación del estrés con la epidemia y lo que estamos enfrentando ahorita. So, as the coronavirus epidemic has changed our lives, it's causing many people to feel different types of feelings. One of those may be the anxiousness, the anxiety. We're hearing it everywhere. We're hearing it on the news. We're hearing it, everywhere that anxiety is just skyrocketing and that people are having a hard time coping with anxiety. Anger, the feelings of angry. Some people, and again, going back to the ACEs, some people might have grown up in an environment where that's how they coped with stressful situations. Maybe the parents, they grew up and whenever there was a stressful situation in the home, the parents would just fly off the handle and, start fighting, start arguing, or just, really become a very negative environment to be in. Y entonces, pueden entrar a un evento los niños donde aún los adultos que lo hayan vivido, donde la familia no sabía cómo manejar el estrés. Y cuando venían tiempos dificultosos de estrés, lo primero que hacían es que todos empezaban a poner mucha atención, a lo mejor pleitos, problemas en casa, abuso aún emocional en la casa. And it becomes a learned behavior for some adults. Y unos adultos han aprendido eso. So I'm sure that in these times that we are facing an epidemic of this magnitude, yo estoy segura que en estos tiempos que estamos enfrentando una epidemia de esta magnitud, porque es algo fuerte, because it's something very difficult, many households may be experiencing feelings of a lot of frustration and a lot of anger, and that's how they're coping and expressing that. So we want to talk about that today in this class, and also I'm going to be giving you at the end some tips on how to get help. También les voy a dar unos consejos al final para cómo agarrar ayuda, obtener ayuda. Being frightened or feeling sad. Again, in the ACEs, we see that one of the issues might have been growing up in a household where the children were very afraid, were very scared, and because of the chaos they were living in their home. So we're now facing a chaotic situation, and it could be a trigger. It could be a trigger that brings on those feelings of fear in connection with what we're facing right now. Y aún si hayan crecido en veces en hogares donde había mucho temor y miedo, los niños vivían en miedo y temor, tristeza, depresión, ahorita mismo podrán estar experimentando esos mismos sentimientos con lo que se está enfrentando con el COVID-19 y cómo está afectando a todo el mundo. And all these feelings are normal during a pandemic of this magnitude. And some are affected more than others by these feelings. But I believe that we all can feel these feelings during these times to some degree or other. And with that said, the reason I'm mentioning that is because I want to tell you that, if you're having these feelings, regardless of what environment you grew up, and regardless if you score high on the ACEs, regardless of any of those things, if you don't understand that yet, we'll be talking about that in another class of the score. Maybe it just has to do with how many of these situations you might have been involved in, like abusive parents and in a home where you were neglected, and etc. We'll get more into that in another class. So regardless of what your growing up environment may have been, everyone right now, you could have grew up in the best kind of home where it was the healthiest, the best environment ever. But I think to a certain degree, everybody is probably facing to some degree right now these feelings in one way or another. So it's normal that you would be reacting.
A medida de que esta epidemia altera nuestras vidas normales, estamos enfrentando muchos sentimientos. Nuestras vidas normales como las conocimos han cambiado. ¿Cuántas veces hemos oído ese término de que la vida en un instante puede cambiar? Nunca ha sido más real para mí eso que estos tiempos que estamos viviendo en esta epidemia, porque de repente vimos cómo nuestras vidas de repente cambiaron completamente. La manera que los niños están yendo a la escuela, la manera que estamos comprando en las tiendas, tener que lavar todo, tener que usar guantes, tener que usar máscaras, todo ha cambiado de repente. No poder salir, solo ir a las tiendas, a las esenciales. De medida de que esta epidemia ha alterado nuestras vidas normales, estamos empezando a enfrentar muchos sentimientos con esto. Hay momentos que podrán estar sintiendo ansiedad, enojo, temor, frustración y aún tristeza. Es muy difícil tiempos y a unos les afecta más que a otros. Hemos mencionado que si en una casa, en un hogar, la manera de que manejaban el estrés era con enojo y han crecido en ese experimento. Lo que pasa es que cuando van creciendo, los adultos empiezan a enfrentar el estrés de la misma manera, porque si no han aprendido cómo enfrentar estrés, cómo enfrentar problemas y crisis en la vida, van a empezar a actuar de la misma manera que vivieron en su niñez. Y por eso es tan importante, porque para fortalecer una familia para el futuro, depende de qué es lo que vamos a hacer ahorita. Y como familias ahorita tienen que saludablemente enfrentar esto, porque los hijos y la familia están aprendiendo en medio de esta crisis también de su experimento. Hay que manejar todos estos sentimientos, ¿verdad?, de la mejor manera que podamos. Y a unos les afecta más que a otros, como dije, pero creo que todos estamos sintiendo a un grado o otro lo mismo. A un grado u otro, todos lo estamos sintiendo igual. Voy a querer darles unos consejos de cómo manejar específicamente estos retos, de cómo enfrentar ciertos problemas de salud mental durante estos tiempos difíciles. I'd like to give you a few tips on how to specifically handle the specific challenges that we're facing right now during these times. That's why I said I wanted to give a class on stress management, but I wanted to make it relevant to the COVID-19 issue that we're facing right now. We are learning that nearly half of Americans say that COVID-19 pandemic is already harming their mental health. And it's said that almost 1 out of 5 has had a major impact on the mental health. And I believe that it could be even more than that. This is, from people that are studying and watching, how people are reacting. But what about those that aren't involved in these studies? I think it's a lot more. Están diciendo y estamos descubriendo que es estimado que casi la mitad de los habitantes de los Estados Unidos, todo el país, dicen que la pandemia de COVID-19 o el virus ya está afectando su salud mental. Y que parte de estas personas están gravemente siendo afectados en su salud mental, o sea, impactados profundamente. Y yo creo que mucho tiene que ver también, como estamos diciendo, aquellas familias o adultos que no tienen suficiente educación todavía en la área de manejo de estrés para poder enfrentar esta epidemia y el estrés que causa y lo que viene con esta epidemia por medio del estrés. And I believe that, a lot of people are having a hard time also because of the environment they grew up in, because they don't have better skills to cope and to be able to face, the stress that comes along with facing a pandemic of this magnitude and the fears that come with it, So to better your overall reaction or outlook, psychologists recommend getting plenty of sleep. That's one of my tips, es una de las cosas que quiero yo dejarles saber. Los psicólogos recomiendan que puedan tener una noche de descanso, de poder dormir. Many people are contacting me and talking about insomnia, talking about how they are not able to sleep at night, talking about how it's difficult to settle down with everything that's going through their minds because they're always hearing, negative and this and that, and just watching the lives that are being lost because of the virus and having those thoughts of like, what if I get it? What if my kids get it? And anxiety producing thoughts. not knowing how to deal with those thoughts, and it fills your body with, with all this cortisone and all this adrenaline and, all this stuff that it doesn't let your body function at its best capacity. And again, it's normal. People are reacting this way. But I really would suggest and recommend, that you do whatever you can to get that sleep. Do routines at night, and even for your children, as a family. Or for yourself, you do routines of, going to bed at the same hour, getting tea before you go to bed, drinking some calming tea, some, whatever you like, but with no caffeine. Also, a bath, warm bath that is cool, whatever makes you relax and is soothing to you. It's self-care, it's doing that self-care. Going for a walk, meditating, reading, different things that you can do to settle down at night, to get your mind, turn the TV off, turn the news off, and settle down and make it a point that you're going to purposefully, intentionally do whatever you need to do to settle down so that you're able to get those 6 to 8 hours recommended hours of sleep at night. Eating a balanced meal. It's important, and these times it's difficult because people joke about it, say there's nothing to do while you're sheltered in other than to be eating. But in reality, we need to stay healthy during this time. We need to eat a well-balanced meal. We need to avoid, eating some unhealthy, lots of artificial stuff, food, sugar-laden food, that's very high in sugar and that is going to make you not feel well. Even the carbs are very high carbs. And I can't give you a nutrition class right now. One of the classes is going to be on nutrition, how it affects us, and anxiety and mental health and physically and all of that. But I do recommend that you Google, that you look up, that you begin to learn some nutrition. You have the time on your hands right now to do that. Educate yourself to strengthen your family for a better future, like we're saying. So whatever you need to do, to reach out, ask at the program that you want education on nutrition, get a referral, to books, to whatever it is you need to be able to learn on the subject of eating healthy, eating balanced meals. Go outside if you can. Remember, use precautions. The masks is now mandatory. You need to make sure you have your masks on when you go into public places. But if you're going to walk near your house, in front of your house, and you can't do that, and you're in a situation where you can, follow the precautions, follow the rules, and get out and get some sun, get some air. Go for a little walk. Also, if you can't get out, walk in your house. Go on the internet, and there's some free exercise videos. You can do some exercise from home. I joke and I say that when I can't get outside, I walk around my coffee table and I just walk around 10 times. I have a staircase up to the house with stairs. I go up and down the stairs. You make it fit, but get some exercise in for yourself, because that's going to be a key role in making sure that you're able to manage the stress and the anxiousness that comes along with the stress that you're facing with this pandemic that we're facing right now. So staying physically active is going to be really, really important. Self-care and compassion is also important. Acknowledging and validating your feelings can help you cope in a healthy way. As I already mentioned, and talked about, you need to validate that this is completely normal, the reactions that you might be having if you're scared, if you're having anxiety, if you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling sad, whatever you might be going through, I want you to know that it's completely normal, and you need to tell yourself that and be patient with yourself. Para mejorar tu actitud general, los psicólogos recomiendan unas cosas, y los consejos que les quiero dar es que necesitan, ¿verdad?, dormir, necesitan descansar. Ahorita muchas personas están hablando, llamándome, diciéndome que tienen insomnio, no pueden dormir, que es muy difícil tener ese dormir como quisieran, pero la realidad es que es muy necesario. Y volvemos a lo mismo, es totalmente normal que estén sintiéndose de esa manera, pero tienen que hacer, y los consejos, cosas para ayudarse. Los consejos que les quiero dar es que hagan rutinas en las noches, traten de dormirse a la misma hora, aún con los niños. Traten de hacer cosas para relajarse antes de dormir, baños con agua calientita o agua tibia, lo que usted lo haga sentir relajados, tomarse un té, caminar un poquito. Aún yo le digo a la gente que yo camino ahorita en la casa cuando no puedo salir, camino alrededor de una mesita unas 10 veces, tengo escalones, subo y bajo. Usted puede buscar en el internet videos para hacer ejercicio, a pesar de que los gimnasios todo está cerrado, pero hay manera de hacer ejercicio. Y si va a salir, use precaución en todo momento, manténgase seguro y mantengan a los demás seguros, pero trate de buscar la manera de mantenerse físicamente moviéndose. Comer alimentos saludables, balanceados, también es difícil, como repetí, todos quieren comer de lo que sea, pero yo les repito, coman comidas balanceadas. Salir cuando es necesario nomás, pero yo pienso que para hacer ejercicio es una razón buena para salir para afuera, no lejos, pero allí a caminar si es posible. Cuando los parques vuelvan a abrir, siga las precauciones, no sé, creo que ya abrieron, pero siga las precauciones y salga, camine donde usted pueda.
And self-care is very important. We need to we need to practice self-care and compassion. It's very important to acknowledge and validate your feelings because this can help you cope in a healthy way. So we need, in other words, you need to be able to express how you're feeling and validate it to yourself, to tell yourself it's normal what I'm feeling. I am going through these feelings because we're facing something very real right now. So es importante para mejorar su actitud también tener esa compasión de uno mismo. Be patient with yourself. Ser paciente con uno mismo. Cuidarse y reconocer y validar los sentimientos que estamos sintiendo. So it's, again, I want to emphasize, I really want everyone in these times to take the time to be patient with yourself and understand that we are going through some very difficult times. Y yo quiero que todos tomen el tiempo de ser paciente con ustedes mismos y comprender que sí estamos pasando unos tiempos muy difíciles. Nearly half of Americans say that COVID-19 and the pandemic is already harming their mental health. And it's said that almost 1 out of 5 has had a major that it has had a major impact on their mental health. And I believe that it could be even more than that. Se estima y se dice que han descubierto y están diciendo que es estimado que casi la mitad de los habitantes de los Estados Unidos, o sea, de todo el país, ya está afectando su salud mental, lo que están enfrentando y viendo, y que una parte de ellos son personas que están gravemente siendo afectados en su salud mental. En otras palabras, están siendo profundamente impactados. And we also are hearing and seeing that out of all the people that are being affected by this pandemic in their mental health, a part of them are being majorly impacted. It's really, really impacting them. And so we want to be able to also give you some skills, give you some education, and give you some tools that are going to really help you. Así que queremos darle educación, queremos darles herramientas y consejos que realmente puedan ayudarles. La autocompasión también es importante, ya que reconocer tus sentimientos te pueden ayudar a sobrellevarlos en una manera mucho más saludable. Y es por eso que mencioné lo de la autocompasión, o sea, tener compasión contigo mismo. So, ¿qué hacer si nos encontramos que nuestra mente nomás está piense y piense y piense en lo mismo y lo mismo? Y nos está causando mucho estrés. What to do when we start to think, I can't stop thinking about COVID-19. Now, this is a very important point because this is what I'm hearing a lot. I've had people, say to me, I just can't stop thinking about the coronavirus. it's like coronavirus this, coronavirus that, and coronavirus everywhere. And I can't get it out of my head. And as it might sound silly to some to say like coronavirus, coronavirus, then oh, coronavirus, but to some, this can be a very serious problem. They cannot get their minds clear and think about anything else but coronavirus, COVID-19, and it becomes very distressful and very debilitating for them. So I want to address that, what to do if you find yourself that all you're able to do is just keep thinking about coronavirus, the coronavirus. So coronavirus is out there. It is around us. And if anxiety about the virus is taking over your thoughts, your first step is to reduce your exposure to be constantly hearing about the coronavirus. And so the first step is going to be to reduce your exposure to things like the news and the social media. Psychologists are all agreeing and that the constant cycle of negative headlines when we're watching the news, when we're listening to things in the social media, the constant cycle affects us and it leads us to more anxiety and stress. And so let me say that in Spanish. Now quiero nomás decirles al español. Si tú te encuentras pensando en coronavirus, coronavirus, coronavirus para todo. Incluso, como dije, hay gente que atuecen y coronavirus. Y hay gente que, hasta están haciendo chistes de esto, de coronavirus. Pero de una forma u otra se está oyendo coronavirus esto y coronavirus el otro y por donde quiera coronavirus, coronavirus. Pero para una persona que no puede sacarse de su mente ya este dilema, puede ser muy debilitante, estresante y en unos casos, ¿verdad? Los debilita al punto que ya no pueden ni manejar sus pensamientos. Y queremos poder traerles el entendimiento de que hay ayuda. Pueden buscar ayuda para eso, pero si se encuentran obsesionando, hay cosas que puede comenzar usted a tomar la responsabilidad de hacer para sí mismo en autocompasión, en teniendo una compasión de sí mismo y diciendo, yo voy a tomar medidas para mi salud mental. Y una de ellas es empezar, número uno, reduciendo que se esté exposeando mucho a las cosas como las noticias, a las redes sociales, donde está constantemente escuchando toda la negatividad alrededor de lo que es el COVID-19 o el virus, coronavirus. Entonces, ese sería el primer paso que deberían de tomar. Traten de evitar estar constantemente en el televisor. Hay personas que están con el remote nomás pasando de un canal a otro canal a otro canal, oyendo qué están diciendo acá y qué están diciendo allá. Y yo les recomiendo que lo que deberían de hacer es más enfocarse en las noticias local. Empieza a enfocarse en lo que concierne a las reglas para ustedes en su condado y aquí en Watsonville, es el condado de Santa Cruz, en lugar de estar exposeándose de qué está pasando en todo el mundo. Y es difícil porque la tentación está allí de querer estar enterados de todo lo que está pasando por todo el mundo, pero déjenme decirles, muy apenas tenemos capacidad en veces para lidiar o tratar con todo lo que estamos escuchando en nuestra propia ciudad y luego tratar de absorber lo de todo el mundo. So yo les recomiendo unos 30 minutos de las noticias. Y luego apaguen eso. O en la mañana un rato y en la noticia en la noche. Yo lo que hago es que yo veo en la mañana y miro en la noche. Y en veces, de vez en cuando, estoy viendo qué está pasando en otro país. Pero si nos vamos a poner a meternos en lo de todo el mundo, deja decirles que te va a sobrecargar con toda la negatividad que se está viendo. So I want to recommend that you watch the news limited, that you get into the social media limited. I want to recommend maybe 30 minutes a day just to get the information of what pertains to your county, to Santa Cruz County, or, to the city, to Watsonville, as far as, the recommendations of how we should be living right now to stay safe, the shelter in, the masks, things we should be doing and avoiding, the washing the hands, getting that information. But once you have that information, only, look so that you learn what new is out there. But if you get constantly caught up, like I said, the psychologists are agreeing that that constant cycle of the negative headlines, the negative information affects us, and it's only going to lead you to a lot more anxiety. So I do really recommend, I watch in the morning, I watch in the evening. We can barely deal sometimes with what's happening in our own city, much less absorb and take in what's happening throughout the whole world. And once in a while, I do look into, what's happening in another country or how COVID-19 is affecting in other parts of the world. But I want you to know that, it's very, very important that you in self-care, and compassion for yourself, that you limit, absorbing too much stuff that's going to stress you out, and limit talking to people that really are not educated, because sometimes we're hearing so many things. Some people say, that it's not real, other people it's real, and you're just going to hear a bunch of stuff. And I just want to recommend to you, for stress management, try to talk to people that are receiving the education, talk to the staff there at the program, and limit, how much you're exposing yourself to constantly be talking about coronavirus. Take a mental break, turn everything off, and just do something different. Watch cartoons with your kids, do a puzzle with your child, do a puzzle by yourself, read a book, and turn yourself off, shut yourself off to what's going on out there, and just really do some self-care, some self-nurturing for yourself. So that's step number one. Reduce it. News puts your brain on high alert mode, even if you don't realize it. Watching it so much, it causes a reaction in your brain that is not good for you. So I wanted to also mention that like I said, there's people watching news around the clock, going from channel to channel to channel. And in the beginning, I did that too. And I started to notice that it was really bringing more stress on my life. As a matter of fact, I suffered from anxiety for many, many years. On a personal note, and being transparent here with you, I suffered from anxiety issues, for many years. And I talk about this when I facilitate my support groups or anything I do. And I do, speak about myself sometimes, and I let them know, I understand what it feels like to go through that. But I've been able to learn, and I've been able to deal with it. And I've it's been years that I've been able to cope and manage with everything in life without having to deal with anxiety. And I think that an epidemic of this magnitude can throw anybody into a state of anxiety. And as I was watching the news in the beginning and just constantly seeing what was happening, I started to notice a surge in my own personal anxiety. I started to ask myself, what am I eating? What am I doing? And all of the things that I knew to do a self-assessment, you could say a self-evaluation. But I knew it was directly linked, that I was just starting to really consume myself with the news. And I want to tell you, it's very important that we reduce our exposure to that, especially if you're already prone to anxiety. I think everyone and anyone can experience it to any degree now. But if you are already prone to it, the best thing for you is going to be to reduce your exposure to things like the news and social media that are dealing and talking a lot of negativity. So it puts your body out of whack when we fill it up with adrenaline and cortisol from just absorbing too much negativity. And we need to keep our bodies balanced right now the best that we can. We got to fill it up with good stuff. We need to meditate, deep breathe, relax, exercise, eat healthy. We need to do all of the things that are going to help us be more ready and equipped to be able to face what we're facing on a day-to-day right now. So consider, like I said, limit yourself to 30 minutes a day. Once again, I repeat, I do one in the morning and one in the evening of watching the news, and kind of try to cut it there. So, de nuevo, limítense cuánto están haciendo. So I would recommend that you spend more time educating yourself on how to stay safe versus what's going on all over the world with the coronavirus. And like I said, we can only handle so much and do so much. So yo recomendaría que mejor se dediquen a educarse en qué pueden hacer para mantenerse seguros, que es la mejor manera de hacer las cosas como la distancia social, usar la máscara, lavarse las manos. Edúquese mejor. ¿Qué puede usted hacer? Dedique su tiempo a enfocarse en esas cosas más positivas. You need to be focusing yourself better on positive things or positive ways, things that you can do to empower yourself to be able to face in a safer manner the epidemic that we're facing right now in the whole world. So we recommend connecting regularly with friends and family members by phone and video chat. So estamos recomendando que también que se conecten regularmente con amistades y con miembros de la familia por medio de teléfono o por medio de video. Ahorita es importante que mantengamos, aunque estamos físicamente apartados, que mantengamos un acercamiento como podamos con los demás. De nuevo, no les recomiendo que estén constante, mucho plática con personas que tal vez ellos mismos no están manejando muy bien. Si usted está ahí para apoyarlos, apóyelos. Pero si usted nota que más bien ellos le causan estrés, mejor haz una distancia, se puede decir, social con esas personas también. Ofréceles, una palabra de apoyo y ayuda, pero si es constante, absorbiéndote la negatividad o la manera negativa que ellos están enfrentando, no será tal vez lo más saludable para ti. So also, as we recommend connecting regularly with friends and family members by phone or video chat, because of the social distancing, because of the, shelter in place, we're missing out on a lot of those connections that can be very healthy and supportive for us, and just bring us, joy and comfort during these times. But I want to say that if you are talking a lot or, with people that they themselves are not handling the stress well, then I want you to offer up a word of support to them, offer up, just being available to them, but don't absorb yourself too much either, because what will happen is that you're going to also absorb their energy. You're going to absorb their outlook on things. So it's better, to kind of also reduce or eliminate that kind of socializing, whether it be by phone or video chatting with people that they're not handling it well either, and they're filling your mind or filling you up with all of this hopelessness and desperateness that's going to probably, bring you down instead of uplift you. When you're alone with your thoughts too much, your anxiety can go up. That is another reason it's important to stay connected with others. But again, stay connected in a healthy way. Talk to somebody. Again, talk to the staff there. Talk to somebody who's going to be able to support you and uplift you. Cuando están solos con sus pensamientos, su ansiedad puede subir. Y por eso es importante mantener conexiones. Pero de nuevo, use sabiduría. Hable con el staff del programa. Hable con alguien que lo va a levantar. Alguien que va a poder apoyarte. So if your anxiety is also interrupting your ability to function in ordinary activities like paying your bills, showering, taking care of loved ones, your kids, that's a sign that it's time to ask for help. Y también quiero mencionar que si su nivel de ansiedad y el estrés lo está interrumpiendo con su habilidad de funcionar en cosas o actividades ordinarias como pagar sus biles, bañarse, regularmente, cuidar a sus amados, a sus hijos, cocinar, a limpiar, hacer las cosas que usted normalmente hace. Si nota que está nomás queriendo estar dormido, evitando, aislándose, porque de por sí estamos aislados que estamos todos en casa. Pero si allí mismo en la casa se encuentra que se está apartando también su propio mundo y ya está neglijando lo demás, es tiempo de pedir ayuda. Son señas que usted necesita buscar ayuda. Hable, talk to the PVSS staff. It's available to you. They are available to you. There is help for you. Hable con los trabajadores allí en el programa. Están disponibles para usted. Allí están para ayudarlos. Hable con ellos. Pide ayuda. Pídeles una referencia para que los conecten con un proveedor que los puede ayudar. Ask for a referral so that they can connect you to a provider that can help you, someone that could help you. So even though there is no face-to-face time right now in the counseling, aunque con la consejería ahorita tal vez no hay tiempo de cara a cara, no se puede por los tiempos, aún puede usted buscar ayuda. You can still seek help. Even though there isn't the face-to-face time, what you can do because of the shelter in place is that you may still seek help through virtual sessions. You may seek help through teletherapy, or just talk to someone on the phone. Just make a phone call and someone can call you and let the staff know that you need help. Se puede todavía hacer citas para hablar con alguien en estos tiempos por medio de secciones virtuales, teleterapia o que alguien le llame por teléfono. Pida ayuda. So I want to tell you, you may also request, to receive a phone call appointment. You can request a phone call appointment for support, even through me. You can talk to somebody there in the program and let them know that you would like to talk to Naomi, that you would like to have a phone call appointment, and they will let me know, provide a phone number for me, and I will call you, and we can set up, if in that moment is not going to be a good time, we can set up a phone appointment and we can talk over the phone. Aún yo estoy disponible. Ahorita tal vez no podemos cara a cara, pero hable con alguien, déjele saber que usted necesita ayuda, que está batallando, que tomó la clase esta y que vinieron ciertas cosas a su mente y que usted quisiera un poco más apoyo o hablar con alguien. Y incluso ellos pueden dejarme saber un número de teléfono y yo puedo hacer una cita de teléfono. Puedo llamarle y si en ese momento puedes hablar y si no, podemos poner una cita telefónica. Estamos disponibles para ustedes. So request a phone call appointment for support from me through the agency. So that was pretty much the class for today. And I want to remind you, make sure that you're taking your notes, make sure you're writing down what you're learning from the class, and you're going to be required to turn that in. Yo quiero recordarles, tomen sus notas, que estén escribiendo lo que están aprendiendo de la clase, asegúrense porque se les va a requerir entregar esa hoja. And I just wish everybody well right now. Les deseo lo mejor ahorita. Again, we are facing some difficult times. That is a reality. Estamos enfrentando tiempos difíciles. Esa es la realidad. But you're not alone. We're here together. We all are going through the same thing together. Y no están solos. Todos estamos juntos. Estamos pasando lo mismo juntos. And you do have help available to you. Y si tiene ayuda. There are resources out there available to you. Whatever I've mentioned tonight and you would like help in those areas, please contact the staff members, let them know de lo que he mencionado en este día, en esta clase. Por favor, contáctese con los empleados de allí del programa, déjales saber y ellos van a estar disponibles para ayudarles. So, nos miramos para la próxima semana. We'll see you next week for our next class, and stay safe. Wear your mask when you're out in public. Make sure you're washing your hands and stay safe wherever you may be at. So manténganse seguros, usen sus máscaras en público, asegúrense lavar sus manos seguido, and let's manage the stress. Let's keep the anxiety down and let's work on the depression and any of the feelings that you might be going through. So just let us know. We're here to help. Déjanos saber, aquí estamos para ayudarles.